What's up, guys? I have another deck to show you today. This is a particle style deck centered around this jutsu, particle style atomic dismantling jutsu, and I'm just gonna get into it because there is a lot to talk about with this deck. So we're gonna start with the zeros. We got 2 Tamari. She stalls forever, and in this deck you want to get to turn 6 so you can play your Sedusa ninjas so that you can play your particle style. So Tamari, good staller. Next we have 2 Gara Childhood. Because Gara Tamari squad is really good, and also it's a Sedusa, so it can use particle style. Next we have 2 Shihos. Helps you filter cards, pretty good early game. And then 2 Kisuke's. He can stall, he dies, he comes back. And he has a fire symbol and a lightning symbol, which is actually pretty relevant because the fire symbol lets you pay for the 1 fire in particle style. It lets you pay for Warhawks, and the lightning symbol lets you pay to go into Naruto, the Hokage or Sage mode. So he's pretty good in the deck. And then 1 10 to draw extra cards, pretty good. And then 1 Hanare. 1 drops, we have 1 Karin, 2 heal, and then Childhood because drawing extra cards is good and she's limited to 1. And then I have another because it's nice to have another expert user for mind transfer jutsu. And then also she has 3 support. So if you happen to draw her with Tamari, because Tamari's effect lets you rearrange positions of your team during the exchange of jutsu, you can have Tamari turn 1, and then you don't have to rely on getting a 3 combat ninja to have like a decent team on turn 1. And you can block with them or you can attack with them, put both of them as back ninja, and then that's 5 power right there. And if you fight a team that has 5 power, and they have like a front ninja and a back ninja, then they'll get injured and you won't, because both of your ninjas are back ninjas. So if you clash like that, you win the exchange. So pretty good with Tamari. And then we have 2 drops. We have 3 Shikamaru. 3 is really important for the deck because he has the earth symbol and the fire symbol, and so he can pay for most of your missions, and then he can also pay either cost of your particle style when you're using the jutsu other than wind. And his effect is really good too. It makes this deck have like a built-in inevitability, like you're never gonna get outstalled because he can just shuffle cards back into your deck, which is really cool. And it works well with 10 and Childhood because they mill cards and then Shikamaru can just put them back. Next, 2 Sakura Book Smarts. Drawing cards is cool, and like everything in the deck has 2 or more mental power. 1 KNS. It's just really good with Shikamaru's decision, really good with Sakura. And he has a lightning symbol, so he can let you reinforce into Naruto. And 1 Pain Narakapath because he stalls forever, and he's really good. And then there's also the effect when your turn markers even, your opponent can't play mission cards or activate effects of ninjas that have an odd entrance cost, which actually comes into play more than you would think. 3 drops, just 1. It's Naruto. This is the one that gets a battle reward back when he's put into play, which is pretty good for this deck because you give up battle rewards early with your missions, and then just because you're stalling, you're probably going to be taking more hits, and especially if you like don't get the right turn 0 and turn 1 ninja lineup. So his effect is really good, and then he can go into Hokage Naruto, which is a Satusa and can use Particle Style. 4-drops, we have 1 Hidan, because he is a free ninja in exchange for a battle reward. And we have 1 Kurenai, because she can help you stall to the late game. She can basically, like, if your opponent swings out with like 3 teams of ninjas, you can just say no blocks and then drop Kurenai and they get no battle rewards. So it takes a lot of risk out of trying to block and all that when you just need to get to the next turn. Last, we have a 5-drop. It's Yamato, Control by Fear. Limited to 1. His effect is really good. It turns off all of your opponent's ninjas' effects that have a lower entrance cost in him. So that's pretty cool. There's a reason he's limited to 1. He's really good. And then on to 6-drops. These are the main deck Kage ninja that I play. We have 1 First Hokage. He gets you back battle rewards, and then he can shuffle stuff back into your deck. I like this one over the other one because the other one lets you shuffle only when he's put into play. He lets you put as many cards from your discard pile as you want back into your deck and shuffle it, but only when he's put into play. And this guy, he can put 4 back every turn, so he's pretty good. And then 5th Kazekage, he can negate jutsu, and he's just really good. He has 2 of the symbols that you like, or that you play in the deck. And then other ninjas you control can't be targeted by the effects of your opponent's ninja effects, so that's really good. Next is 3rd Tsuchikage. I've seen some deck profiles where people don't play this guy, and that's kind of weird to me because he does have gravity, and having gravity means that you get the expert effect on particle style atomic dismantling, so you can basically wipe a whole team with it instead of just getting rid of 1 ninja and drawing 2 cards, which I think is really powerful. And this guy, he's not even bad. Like, he can negate a jutsu that targets one of your ninja that share a symbol with him. So the only guys he can't save are like Naruto and any of your void guys, which is Narakapath. And then if you go into the Naruto reinforcement, then he can save him, or he can negate a jutsu that targets him because he's a lightning wind in both forms, I believe. So pretty good. And then last is the 2nd Tsuchikage. This is another card that I see that people don't play in their particle style decks, which doesn't really make sense to me because this guy comes in, and if you drop him on turn 6, he just gets to swing in unblocked. And if you only swing with him, your opponent can't block him, and then they have no ninjas actually on the battlefield during the exchange of jutsu. So you could fire off a particle style and your opponent just can't do anything about it, pretty much. And he has gravity as well, so if you particle style, you can just nuke an entire team, draw 2 cards. If you have double particle style, you can double particle style because they won't be able to respond to it, because if he goes unblocked, none of their ninjas are on the battlefield for exchange of jutsu, so they can't use jutsu, which is really good. And even if your opponent has a ninja that can block him, which means turn 6 or higher, if that ninja is in a team with other ninja that have turn 6 or less, they won't even be able to block him because he can't be blocked by a ninja by a team that includes a ninja with less entrance cost. So unless they purposely separate their guy that's turn 6 or higher, like, they're not going to be able to block him. So it's really good in the deck. It's just like a free particle style. You don't have to worry about it getting negated or anything. It's pretty good. Next we have missions. We have 2 comp strengths, 2 stop effects, 3 student and sensei, Earth, draw mission early, pretty good. 2 Shika's Decision, limited to 1, really good in this deck. You play 3 Shikamaru, so you can get anything if you target him. 2 Loss, just more draw. I would play the 3 Decision, obviously, but Loss is, I guess, a close, well, not a close second. It's fine. 3 Warhawk, draw 4 cards, pretty good. And then 2 Stone Council. It has all your symbols, and all of the effects are pretty good on it. We got Jutsus, 1 Big Bang, limited to 1 Staple, 1 Labyrinth. It's a negate, and it's Fire Wind. The symbols are really important for paying costs in this deck. 1 Flying Swallow. It's a pretty good early game jutsu, and it has Earth Wind. So again, just about the cost, being able to pay costs in this deck. Next we have 1 Mind Transfer, limited to 1. It's just Earth, but it's strong enough to where you don't have to worry about it only being the 1 symbol. And then 1 Hydro Pump, limited to 1, staple. And then 3 Particle Style, Atomic Dismantling Jutsu. This card is insane if you can get it off with a Gravity Ninja, but even if you can't, it's still pretty good. You remove a ninja from play and then you draw 2 cards, so not bad. We got the Reinforcement deck next. 3 Icon, 4 Naraka Path, 3 Garatamari, 3 Hidon, Curse Mode, 1 Donzo. This is for like Mind Transfer if you steal a Sharingan Eye ninja. And then Sakura Hinata, another Mind Transfer target. Naruto Hinata, another Mind Transfer target. And then we have Hokage Naruto. He's limited to 1. And then 2 Proxy Sage modes, just to prevent them from getting sniped if you go up against like Tsunade Childhood. So that's it for the deck. It's really fun, but it is a lot of thinking. The first time I played it in person, I would just like, I would go to my turn and I would just like sit there for like a minute and like think. And yeah, my brain was definitely hurting after playing it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you next time.